Good people, it's your boy Uncle Fred back in the house. Right here today, Saturday, December the 3rd, with my man TK. TK, what's up, man? We about to uh go into our college championship game previews real quick and just tell you what we would think is gonna happen later today. And then we're gonna roll right on into our NFL predictions for week 13. So just hang with us for a little bit and let's see what we got, man. And we'll be right back here in just a minute. Y'all hang tight. All right back at y'all, man. We like I said, December the 3rd, excuse me, and championship week started in college football actually last night. And if that's an indication of what we're gonna have today, man, it's gonna be something else, man, because I just knew USC was just gonna smoke Utah, man. Avenge that one loss they had by 1 point. What was it, 43-42? Yeah. And what they do, they walked in there and promptly got that butt whooped by Utah. What was it, 47-24?
Yes.
And what's weird is USC had a 14-3 lead in the first quarter, but was about to run away with them. And the next thing I look up and I said, hey, what are they doing 24-24? The next day started 4-24.
Well, they jumped out to a big lead in the first game, too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's the same script. Same script for USC, man. Just the defense couldn't stop anybody once Utah got going.
Right. Cam Rising was doing his thing. I think Caleb Williams got hurt because I saw him limping around in the game. I think he got hurt. And if you take away that guy's, ability to move around, that kind of like, even though he can throw it between, he can definitely thread the needle, but he was kind of like hobbling around and whatnot. I never saw the hit that where he got that at, but
yeah, I believe his ankle was a little hobbled somewhere along the way. Hey man, no excuses, man.
No excuses. No excuses.
That sound whipped up, man. I think I know we discussed off camera. It's kind of why sometimes, man, these championship games they indicate things. I think USC is like a classic case study now for
why you want to have them, right?
Yeah. Here was their chance for some get back, man.
Right, and they couldn't do it. They had one job and they didn't do it. So, anywho, so anyhow, so and my position is that I'm looking for the see if I can do this with this here. Can't find it. That's fine. We can work with it. But my thing was, I always had been an advocate that's like, okay, the conference championship game was really nothing but a money grab, and the fooling around in the college system gonna fool around and hoodwink you out of getting, the champions you're supposed to have gotten, and you end up getting some wild out of the bottom of the deck team because you had to make a team that won 13 games play an extra game, or 12 games play an extra game they didn't have to play. But of course, now we do know that the system going to 12 games, 12 teams on year after next, I think. And when that comes, you're gonna have to have your conference championship game, because that's kind of how you set aside your seeding and everything. So that's going to be kind of what you want to do. So it's a necessary evil. Hang on a second. I'm trying to find out. Here we go. Look long enough, you'll find the thing. You'll find what you're looking for if you look long enough. Yeah, there we go. That's what I was trying to do. So I'll be scrambling around. So anyway, so that's what I was saying. And I know we had this little discussion. He's like, yeah, man, but I like the championship game. I was like, okay, all right. Because in my eyes, USC didn't need to play a championship game. But the way you said, yeah, you saw it. They played it, and you saw they wasn't ready for that. And that's what happened. So, and to me, Texas Christian don't need one. Georgia don't need one. Michigan don't need one. You could have just went Michigan, Georgia, Michigan, TCU, and USC, and let's roll. Let's just roll this thing. But so it didn't happen like that. USC was the first shoe to fall. So conceivably, the way they got beat, they're definitely out of it now. The way they got beat. Now, if it had been, I don't know, 38-37, and some dude hit a walk-off field goal or something, you might have still like, okay, 2 1-point losses, and okay, we still might. Yeah, I'm getting pushed back over there. Maybe not, but I'm just saying, But when you get beat by 23. Yeah,
they're out of it, man.
Yeah, out of there. And I would like to have seen them in there more than Ohio State. I know you kind of like Ohio State, but I like USC a little bit better than I like them. So I would have rather have had USC if I had my picks. You pick USC or you pick Ohio State, and I'm always gonna pick the Trojans because I used to roll with the Trojans back in the day. So I'd have been all right with that, but. They got beat. Now you're gonna probably have Ohio State sneak in there, and we'll see. So let's go ahead and get these games. So go ahead and pull up my screen here. So start with the Big 12. That's gonna be starting about 15 minutes in that game. You got TCU they're playing. I don't know where they're playing at. But they're playing Kansas State. Kansas State's 9-3, and of course Texas Christian or TCU is 12-0, and had a scare last week against Baylor. I think they only won by like 1 point, won like 29-28, something like that. They've been kind of pushed it last couple of weeks. They've been on heart attack alert, man, last couple of weeks. So. I don't know how I feel about this one, man. I've seen Texas Christian. I've seen Max Duggan. We know about Martinez, the quarterback for Kansas State, a very dynamic runner. I think Kansas State's going to be very game in this game. In other words, I think they're going to give them a run for their money. Every year, the Big 12 has a chance to get their representative in the college football playoff. And every year, the other team seems to jump up and bite them. Because I think last year was supposed to have been Oklahoma State, and Baylor jumped up and got them, and they couldn't get in there. And it always seems like that. And I'm guessing it's going to follow that same pursuit this year. But I just think TCU might be just a bit better than them. But it's just a matter of whether they can play better than them in a game that matters. Like I said, all TCU got to do, win or don't get boat raced, and they're in the CFP. So you got one job. Okay, be competitive.
Yeah.
Be competitive.
You got one job.
So with that being said, I think TCU does that. I think they cover, and I'm not saying I'm gonna say they're gonna win, but I think they do enough to get in the CFP. And they went, and I think they win it outright. But what say you?
TCU.
Oh, there we go. TCU, and that was set up a Texas Christian versus Georgia in the first game, or versus Michigan in the first game, and then Georgia versus Ohio State in the second game.
That'd be spicy.
Kind of spicy. Top-notch offense against a very stingy defense. Okay. All right, let's move on. The big dogs, the SEC. You got Georgia versus LSU. So LSU comes in as the upstart. Point you made in our conversation prior to going on air was like, man, if Georgia hadn't stubbed their toe against Texas A&M last week, man, they probably had they could be playing. If they win this game, they go into the CFP. They could conceivably go into the CFP if they won the game. But they didn't. They let Texas A&M handle them. Let my man, what's the man's name? Akeo, whatever, run for like 175 yards or something like that on 38 carries and run them right out the building. And so now they got 3 losses, and basically they're trying to get a New Year's 6 or one of the also ran bowls if they don't win. So basically what they got going for them is Harold Perkins. That's the only thing they got going for them is number 40. That dude is a one-man wrecking crew. And he talked some little trash a little bit last week, saying my man JD he's a little small quarterback. And I don't know how elusive he is, but I'm planning on putting him in the dirt every time I go back there. And I'm like, okay, it's kind of spicy, but I got Georgia.
Yeah. Granted, I've incorrectly picked against LSU several times on your platform.
You picked them right against Bama, though.
Yeah.
You got that one.
But good to see that they made it this far. I don't think they're going to win today, though. I do think if they, to your point, if they take care of business last week, there's a far more juice to the squeeze for this game.
Right.
More implications, especially after that loss from USC last night. But that's not the case. So I think Georgia's going to win this game. There may not be a boat race. It may not, they may not run and hide from them. LSU may keep it close. But give me Georgia, the 1 seed in the CFP, and good season for LSU. I think some of the things that I always had concerns with them throughout the year. This is probably the best defense they've seen all year. And Jaden Daniels, I think progressing through reads, getting your best athletes, best players involved, it matters. It matters against the best competition. So we'll see if he can do that today. Even if he does, and they win, and they do happen to win and pull off the upset, I think it's a good win. I don't know how much is going to actually count towards the CFP, unfortunately, man. So
right.
There's to your point earlier, like a scale where you can see where some championship games matter and some don't.
Right. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because I think Georgia's in it regardless. Man, if Georgia don't get beat by 35, I don't see no reason why they don't get in there. I think one key to look for, Jaden Daniels is one elusive quarterback, though. He is very elusive, man. I look for him to give Georgia a little bit some problems. I don't know why. I know when they was playing Alabama, I was wondering why they never put a spy on him. He was just running down their throat, and I was like, well, LSU's putting a spy on Bryce Young. Why are you not putting a spy on Jaden Daniels? He not. You can take a dude out the secondary and make him the spy, knowing he's not, prolific, not a prolific passer. But they chose not to play it that way, and Jaden Daniels ran up and down the field on them. And if Georgia not, don't elect to do something like that, I think he's gonna make some plays on them with his legs. But the thing is, I don't know if they'll be able to score enough points against Georgia. Georgia's gonna score some points, man. They got players, and so I still got Georgia. But if only thing I can say, if this Harold Perkins dude can get loose, get a strip sack, fumble, and they get a couple of touchdowns or a couple of scores, off of their defense, all bets is off. All bets is off.
I think also with him, man, in this matchup is actually, LSU had to get creative, man, because, Georgia runs a lot of 2 tight end sets because of their 2 stalwarts.
Yeah, that dude you was talking about, my man Brock Bowers. Yeah, man.
Bowers and Big Washington.
Yeah, Washington. Yeah.
You got two guys they can line up and chip and get out in space and you gotta get creative in how Harold can have an impact on this game. But I think Georgia's just destined.
Yeah.
They got a great season. They don't always run it hard against their opponents, but they always get it done.
Yeah.
They got the ultimate, game manager, that quarterback. They got a lot of talent around them, and they on both sides of the ball. They do what they got to do to get out there with a win. So I expect the same today. And if they do see Ohio State, that's going to be a good one.
That's one worth watching right there. That's one worth watching. So yeah, we both got Georgia, but I look for LSU to kind of make it interesting, though. I think it's going to be an interesting game, and the games I think is at 3:30. So we're looking forward to that game. So we'll see what happens where that goes.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. So we done covered the Big 12. We covered the SEC. Now we're going to go to the Big 10. So this is sort of like a yarn or two because you got Michigan versus Purdue. I think Purdue is like 9-3. They may be 8-4. I think they're 8-4. I don't know a whole lot about Purdue. I think that game was supposed to have been Illinois, but I think they got upset late in the season by may have been Michigan State, if I'm not mistaken. They got upset late in the season and weren't able to come up on the other side in the Big 10 championship game. So you got Michigan, you got McCarthy. Blake Corum's not playing. That's a big loss. That dude had like 1,400 yards and like 15, 16 touchdowns. Yeah, that's a big loss. He's out for the season. He played a little bit last week in the Ohio State game, but he's out. But Michigan has a monster offensive line. They mash people, man. And I think they're just gonna line up and just smack. I think they may run the wing T and run it down Purdue's throat, man. I think that's what they're gonna do. See, can you stop us? And if we gotta do the 3-4 yards a carry, we'll go 50 carries, 225 yards, and like 4-5 touchdowns. I think they're gonna line up and run it down their throat. And because that's what Michigan can do. And I think they'll win it. I think it's gonna be not a pretty game. I think it may be something like 23 to like 6 or something like that. That's the kind of game I think it's going to be. But I got Michigan winning that.
Yeah, I'm with you, Michigan, man.
Yeah, I got Michigan winning that. And so it's signed up. We basically going with the chalk. We're going with all the favorites here. So, and just for L's and G's, just for laughs and giggles, we're going to go into the ACC game, even though it don't really have any implications or anything. You got Clemson versus North Carolina. Clemson is kind of scary.
I know it may not have any implications, but I got a question. Is Clemson a 1-loss team or a 2-loss team?
2. They got 2 losses.
Okay.
Lost to Notre Dame. They lost last week to South Carolina.
Correct.
At home by 1 point. 31-30.
Yeah, you're right.
If they was a 1-loss team, they could very well play themselves right into the CFP. But
you're right.
It's your own building. Team that's
with my mind. They did lose to South Carolina.
Yeah,
that's a bad loss too. So
yeah, that's a bad loss. Especially with all the stuff you had riding on that game. All you gotta do with how everything, coach. Now you don't have hindsight when you're playing. You don't know that, USC is going to lose. You don't know, all these other teams. You don't know that LSU is going to lose. You don't know that, you don't know all that stuff. But had they just handled their business in that game, they sitting right there ready to get that number 4, number 3 spot right now. Yeah. And,
Yeah.
But I think they still beat North Carolina, though. I think they win this game. DJ Ugalelu. I never can say his name right.
I'm
just gonna say DJ. He's kind of like been a disappointment this year. Been yanked a couple of times this year, He was supposed to be one of them dudes, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Caleb Williams. He's supposed to be of that ilk. And he kind of has not lived up to that. But I look for him to have a good game today. I got Clemson winning game against North Carolina. But I do know that Mac Brown will have North Carolina ready to play. But I think Clemson just has more talent there, and I think they got a little egg on their face from last week, and they're looking to kind of like, hey man, we still Clemson. That we not just some run of the mill team. We still one of the kind of one of the elite teams, and I think they get the thing righted today and tonight, and I think Clemson wins tonight. So,
all right, for L's and G's, I'm going the other way. Mayday, North Carolina. Why not?
All right, man. All right, that works for me, man. That works for me. So we went chalk up into the last one. We got TCU, got Georgia, we got Michigan, and you got North Carolina. I got Clemson. So we're gonna see how that thing roll up, but man, and this thing shake out a certain way, man. A certain team I'm wearing on my head might slip into the thing.
I know what you
Yeah, I don't think they deserve to be in there though. I'll be honest with you. They haven't played well enough to be in there, in my opinion. I haven't been happy with their play this year. But they did stack 10 wins. Huh?
I know you lurking, bro.
Oh, they lurking behind. You know how them alligators be under the water. The only thing you see their eyes above the water. That's Bama. They lurking under the water, just like that. Waiting for you to make a false move. That's what they do. Make a false move, and I'm gonna pounce.
It's a long shot, man. But
it's a long shot, man. And like I said, I don't think they've played well enough to deserve any of that. They really have not played well this year, But I guess that's a testament to the program to play piss poor, in my opinion, and still go 10-2. And basically, the 2 losses were 2 walk-offs.
Yeah.
Well, it's what it is, man. But no, this team it's not one of their better teams. It really is not. So, but anyway, that's that, man. We're gonna move on. Transition. We're gonna transition into the NFL.
Yes.
Into week 13.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Week 13. Boom. There we go, right there. NFL week 13. Wait a minute. Is that the 3:00 games? I want these games. Let's see. Hang on. Let's see. Wait a minute. There we go. 12:00 games. All right. So we've been away for a couple of weeks due to different things, holidays and everything. We didn't get a chance to get back with you guys on our NFL picks, so I don't even know where our picks stand right now. But I know one thing: we're at week 13. This thing's cooking. The season is cooking. The NFC is cooking. The AFC is cooking. There's a lot of spicy games this week, man. And TK, I think we're just gonna get right on into them, man.
Let's jump to it.
Jump in them. All right. So first game we got, and I just went right down the list, man. And so we looking at Pittsburgh and Atlanta, and that's going to be an interesting game because Atlanta is a team that just when you want to give them, they wet the bed on you because they really should have beat the Chargers, but they fumbled late, and they could have salted that game away and lost that game late, and they lost to somebody last week. I can't remember who it was. They lost to somebody last week. And they just kind of, and it seems like Pittsburgh might be starting to find their groove a little bit. So I don't know, man. I guess I'm going with the Steelers, but the Falcons, I mean, they're playing in Atlanta. So that's it's possible that they could jump up and get them. I do know Kyle Pitts is out for the season. That's one thing I do know. Mm-hmm. Kyle Pitts is out for the season. And of course, now I don't know about any other. I got the injury report right channel. I don't know of any other injuries of significance. So So I guess I'm gonna go with the Steelers. I guess. If no other thing other than I just think they're playing well right now. They're not going anywhere or anything like that. But I think they're 4-7 or something like that. I think they may be working just to make sure they don't have a losing season for Mike Tomlin and whatnot. So I think that's what they're working with and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. But I got the Steelers. We'll see how that goes. What do you say? What say you?
I definitely got the Steelers in this one. I don't see them quitting on Mike Tomlin.
No.
They're going to play hard every week. They're rounding out health-wise, to your point, getting guys back. Big piece of that offense on the other side is missing now.
Yeah.
I expect a close game. Give me Pittsburgh on the road as well.
Yeah. Hey, I got the Steelers winning that, man. I got the Steelers winning. They got TJ back, and their defense is nasty when they got people. They got TJ. They nasty. So, all right, the next game is sort of a yawner. We got well, not really. It's a yawner based on one side of it. You got Denver at Baltimore. Yeah.
Well, two teams in the news. Various reasons.
You do know Baltimore could have a case for being like 12-0, right? Right now.
Yeah, but
they lost all 4 games having a lead in the fourth quarter with like a couple of minutes left. Yeah. All 4 of the games that they lost. I think they were 7-4. I mean, it could be 11-0. My math wasn't good.
It's the optimist way of looking at it. I prefer to look at it like
I'm a glass half full dude, man. Not glass.
It's a great quality to have. For these guys, man, they're blowing it. So they're blowing their own opportunities.
Yeah.
Offense is a mess, man. Lamar is my guy. I got some level of bias there, but got to be honest, man. That offense looks a mess right now. But they invite Russell, Mr. Unlimited Wilson, into town, so that should fix all things. Oh, weird.
Let me spray coffee all over my computer.
That was just a little slight shout out. I don't want to pile on the Russell Wilson, jump in the fray with everybody, but the product on the field though, it's rough. Right, Russ looks. It's troubling, man. He looks disoriented. He doesn't look like a guy that can make winning plays anymore.
No, I don't know what Russ doing.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Like you don't really know what's going on. Like you don't know what they're doing, what their identity is about.
I don't know what Russ doing.
And that Ravens defense, they got a lot of talent on that side. Whether or not they can put it together on a week-to-week basis, we'll see. But if this is a game for them, they got to be licking their chops, man, because there's a chance for them to find some continuity in jail and get all their talent on board. And sometimes you got to pile on, man. When you see a guy struggling, man, it's kind of like blood in the water a little bit. You gotta go for it. So, I think it's gonna be a little chippy. I think on both sides, for very different reasons. There's a lot of pessimism around the teams, whether or not Lamar can get that offense going and get something that resembles the type of offense that can win anything in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So, they have that. And Denver just week-to-week basis, I mean, you don't have your own first-round picks. It's kind of like just losing for the sake of losing. It's got to be tough feeling, for the entire roster.
Right.
Last week, not being able to put up any points in that Panthers game, that's going to frustrate the defense, man. So.
And the Panthers aren't a good team either. The Panthers looking to go somewhere and lay down and die, and you couldn't take advantage of that.
Yeah.
What the heck are we doing here?
Yeah.
Man, I didn't know Russell Wilson had become chicken soup. He kind of come and make you well, and you all his ails. He done became chicken soup. Like, this dude was like, the one of the top 5 guys in the NFL, man, not too long ago. Now he's chicken soup. Now he come, everything ails you becomes well when he come to town. What's going on with this, man?
Yeah, it's that, man. So
yeah,
there's no way I wouldn't do it anyway because I think the Ravens are gonna win at home. But there's no way I could pick Denver to win a game these days.
No, man. I'm not picking. Yeah. I'm not picking them. And they see, the thing is, they stuck with Russ, but you know old dude getting broke off the end of the season, right? I mean, that's he dead man walking. You know that, right?
Unfortunately, man, you're probably right. This guy looked like he's a little bit over his skis.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
But here's the thing. Go ahead.
No. I would hope the entire philosophy of that organization, I know we picking games, so it doesn't really have, it's more of a long-term projection take, but that entire fundamental philosophy over there needs to be overhauled in the off season. And of course that probably includes getting a new coach, getting some new identity in there. But it starts with Russ. I said that before here, weeks ago. It's got to start with him. To your point, they're kind of stuck with him. So he's stuck with them.
Yeah.
You gotta come on, man. You gotta look at yourself and make the adjustments, man. The perception that you're giving off, people not feeling it, man. You gotta have some awareness.
They really not, man. Yeah. Doing high knees on the plane at 3:00 in the morning is probably not a good way to endure your teammates to you, but whatever, man.
Yeah,
man. Look, man, you would think, man, if I'm a coach, man, we're gonna go on to the next game. This game really ain't got a whole lot in it, but it's a lot of. The game is really not going. The talk around the game is going to be more interesting than the game itself. How about that? That's what I'm saying.
A couple of those this week. Go ahead.
Yeah. Right. True. My thing is, you would think, man, if I'm a coach that kind of, has, some understanding of some things, but maybe I'm a little green on game application and stuff like that. You would think that with a veteran quarterback that Russ supposedly is, you would be in good shape. You would be in good hands. As opposed to you got a rookie quarterback, don't know from a hole in the ground. Okay. You would think you would be in good shape. This guy's been to a couple of Super Bowls. He's a veteran. He's one of the, more established quarterbacks in the NFL. You would think if I'm a first-time head coach and I got this guy, we good. But
yeah, hasn't been the case.
Has not been the case. So I got Baltimore. I didn't even get my pick. I got Baltimore. I don't even know why that's even a thing. Yeah, I got Baltimore. Baltimore's winning. They go out there with 8 players. They win it. So.
Well, I put respect on the name of that defense.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's true.
The defense plays hard, and Lamar gonna have his hands full on that side. So
Well, the defense played so hard that the defense had to let Russ know last week, like, dude, we out here doing our thing. What you doing?
Respect to that defense, but I got Baltimore too.
Yeah, Baltimore. That kind of goes without saying. We both got Baltimore at that. So, all right. So our third game is going to be Green Bay at Chicago. Interesting game. Probably neither team's going anywhere, but Green Bay, your boy Aaron Rodgers got that thumb thing going. They had talked about should they just sit him the rest of the season, let him, since just running him out there just to get, just to. But I like his moxie. He said, "No, man, we mathematically we could conceivably run the table." I look at their schedule. There's really not a lot of hard games left on their schedule. They could conceivably run the table. What are they, 4-8? They could go 9. They could go 9-8 and squeak into the playoffs. That's if that's you want to do all that just to do that. But you playing the Bears. Not sure or not if Justin Fields is going to play. Didn't play last week against the Jets.
I think he's in.
He's playing today with that shoulder. It's his off shoulder. It's not his throwing shoulder, but
from what I read, he's probably going to be in tomorrow. So yeah, they'll have him. A-Rod will be in. I respect that.
I got Green Bay.
Yeah. I kind of want to jump into the shut it down, trade Aaron Rodgers camp in the offseason, but well, yeah, I think it's time, man. I think this has got to be the indicator that it's time. And it may not be for me reasons that it would be for other people who can't wait to tear the guy down. I'll just think mutually on both sides it's time. I think you got to see what you got with Jordan Love. He sat for 3 years now. It's time to see what your investment brings. And A-Rod, it's time to move on, man. It's time to go somewhere where you can sort of, find a different level of passion for the game again for the twilight years of his career, and go somewhere that better suits him. I think it should be kind of a mutual thing in the offseason. That's here nor there. It's not about this game.
Right.
I was going to a certain point, but then you made a great point. I respect the competitiveness. So you want to compete until you can't compete no more.
Right.
A couple of key injuries for the Bears on both sides of the ball that makes me lean towards the Packers. Though I as of late, I really liked what we're seeing from Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
To just muck stuff up and make plays and make a game out of games.
Right.
So I like that. It's a very appealing thing. But I'll go with the Packers on this one. With you.
I'm going with the Packers. He owns them. So I'm going with that. He owns them. He just do. And you was talking about Jordan Love. It's about time for Jordan Love to what they used to say in my community. Time for him to either barbecue or mildew. One of the two.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's he didn't look too bad last week against the Eagles. He had a couple of nice throws. He didn't look
bad at all, man. I think he didn't look bad at all, man.
6-9, 113 yards and a touchdown. And like I was trying to tell you earlier, that daggone Christian Watson can fly, man. If he can hang on to the football, that's always the thing. Can you hold on to the football? Now to put him with Velcro gloves or something on, something. Yeah. Hold on to some stick 'em or something, dude. If he can get the ball under his arm, good luck bringing that dude down. It's like 6'4" and 215, 220, running 4.3. Good luck. Good luck.
He's a speed guy. He's a track speed type of guy.
Yeah.
A long stride guy. And, if I were them, I want to see, because this guy's clearly going to be your future guy. I kind of want to see what he's going to look like with Jordan Love. So,
yeah.
Just something to think about. But as far as this week, I'm with you, man. Aaron Rodgers suiting up. Give me the Packers.
That's right, man. Time for the Bears to pay their mortgage, man, because he owned that. All right. Next game, we got Jacksonville at Detroit. Interesting game. Jacksonville kind of jumped off the mat last week, man, and Trevor Lawrence looking a little bit more like boy wonder we thought he was supposed to be. He kind of has underwhelmed. Come in with a lot of promise. He gonna be Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning, and all them dudes all wrapped into one. With his golden locks. He's supposed to be all that. But wasn't really a good team. They had some issues with the coaching staff. You end up getting Dougie. God, what is his last name? You know me and name, huh?
Peterson.
Doug Peterson. Dude is good with quarterbacks, and you can see him kind of like, hey, he getting out a lot of that stuff, and he's starting to make throws. He's starting to get a good feel for the game and stuff like that. So they got some nice, decent pieces around. They went out and spent a lot of money in the offseason on free agents. Got some decent draft picks. Well, decent. They got Walker and what's the other kid they got? Golly. What's the other kid? And of course they got Travis Etienne who's starting to play. He's playing so well they was able to trade James Robinson up to the Jets. So that's how much they trusted him, to play. And you got Zay Jones and Christian Kirk. And so they got some weapons now. Don't sleep on them. So, and Detroit is just a fun team. They get up and down the field. They can score. DeAndre Swift, Amon-Ra St. Brown. So that's gonna be an interesting game. They're playing at Detroit. Detroit plays better at home than they do on the road. I got Detroit.
Yeah, I'm a little indifferent to this game, man, but I'm very excited to potentially see the debut of Mr. Jameson Williams.
Is he? Let me look on my sheet because I looked at it, but I didn't look at it. Is he scheduled to play tomorrow?
I think they have to make a decision on him today as far as whether or not they want to activate him for tomorrow. But
probably had him on one of them 21-day.
Yeah. It's a returns guy. Yeah. I mean, from what I've seen, he's been participating in practice. So could see the debut of the fast guy.
Yeah, that's a game changer right there, man. If he plays, that's a game changer. Yeah, that dude got speed right there.
Yeah. I'll be excited for that. As far as the game itself, man, two teams that I think their future is a little brighter than their present.
Right.
I'll take Detroit at home.
Okay. We both going Detroit, but I think that's going to be a very exciting game, though. I think that's a game. That's a very interesting game right there. That's not a snoozer. That's a game going to have some good offense. Both teams have some decent defensive players.
A lot of young talent on both teams.
A lot of young talent, right. A lot of young talent, man. So that's a game worth watching right there. So we both got Detroit on that. So now here comes your game right here. You got Cleveland at Houston, and Cleveland starting Deshaun Watson going back to his old stomping grounds, Houston, Texas. I can't think what that stadium's called no more, but that's where they're playing. I got Cleveland, molly-whopping them. And so what say you? I got Cleveland.
Well, if ever there were anybody motivated to play a certain team.
What you talking about, man?
It'll be number 4.
Yeah. That,
it's a lot of mess around the discourse around that game, man. On the field, though.
Yeah.
I think the Cleveland Browns are going to look to make a statement. And not just making a statement, against a non-divisional opponent who isn't really good. We'll just make a statement that,
stadium, that's what it's called.
There's a certain type of solidarity that they have with their quarterback, who he is their quarterback. He's going to be their quarterback. People got to get over it. The reality reality ain't whatever you think it is on the internet, man. The reality is that guy's gonna play football tomorrow. He's gonna play football for a long time for Cleveland. And as far as football goes, he is damn good at it. So
yeah. It's definitely going to be a lot of some chomping at the bit kind of mentality here because Deshaun Watson's been on ice for like 700 and some odd days, man. I think it was like 2021, something like that. Last time he's played a real game, he did some stuff in preseason earlier this year. The one game he got a chance to, so I mean, I know he's chomping at the bit, man, to get it, especially going back in Energy Stadium in Houston. It's like, I can't. When if they could play the game today, he'd be like, let's go.
Yeah. He's been waiting on this one. You know the nasty work of the NFL to even have this, narrative in place.
We didn't get the amount of games we wanted, so we're gonna have your first game be right here.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. So that's what that is. Yeah, I got Cleveland. I got him having a nice game. I know he's gonna have to overcome a little bit of rust. You can't just sugarcoat and not playing in almost 2 years. So, but I look for him to have a good game against not a great team that he's playing against. So yeah, I got Cleveland in that game, and that's gonna be something to watch and see how he,
And I really hope, the people that always have something to say and offer their opinions on matters they probably have little knowledge about. I would hope you guys shut up tomorrow. Be quiet. Unless you understand the entire spectrum of what's going on in that situation. Okay to keep things to yourself until you have a full perspective. We'll leave that one right there.
Yeah, we'll leave that right there. But so we're gonna see what Cleveland gonna do. I think they're gonna get them. All right, next game we got. This is gonna be an interesting game right here, man. We got the New York Football Jets at the Minnesota Vikings. Okay, 12 o'clock at Minnesota. Kirk Cousins, Mike White. Hey, man, Mike White had a nice game last week, man. Had a nice game versus the Bears. Now, I know it's the Bears. The Bears defense ain't, they didn't traded away their best players and Quinn and Roquan Smith. So it's not like they got the safety that they drafted last year. They still got Eddie Jackson. That's about it. They really not really, have a great defense. So Mike White was made to look like the second coming. So he had some nice throws. He looked better than Zach Wilson, that's for sure. Zach Wilson got some maturity issues, but that's just me. But
I got an opinion on that. Go ahead, cook.
Yeah, I think he's uber talented though. Mike White, you got a ceiling. Yeah, he can do that or whatever. He can do the basic very well. That's what he can do. Zach Wilson can do everything. He got mobility. He's got a decent arm. Got a little moxie to him. Got that little edge to him. Whatever, but Mike White's that's fine. You'll win you a few games, but it ain't. This guy you drafted, this guy number 2. He's gonna be your guy. Let's stop tripping with that. He's gonna be the guy.
Yeah, man.
So, as far as this game is concerned, I'm gonna go with I'm going with the Vikings. I just think they just got too good of a team. I like the Jets though. Don't get me wrong there. Don't misquote me. I like the Jets. I like what they're cooking over there. You know, Robert Saleh got them boys playing for him, and shoot, Sauce Gardner, shoot, you can't get open on that dude.
Get your popcorn, Sauce and Jet Jefferson going at it tomorrow.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. That's gonna be that's gonna be worth the price of admission right there. I just think Minnesota's got like too many weapons, too much stuff going on. I think it'll be a good game though. I think the Jets gonna be game then. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets upset them. But if I gotta pick one. And that's what we're here for. We're here to pick them, not to see what's a good game. We're here to pick the games, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings at home, but the Jets. I look for the Jets to make a good game out of this though.
I'm definitely going Minnesota, man. But as far as Zach Wilson, I think my thing about that, man, it's real disappointing to see that playing out. And look, I'm not in that locker room, so that's not the point I'm about to attempt to make. As far as them benching him, they see a reason to do that. It's fine. It's just to me more of the issue.
Okay, let me interject right here. Not only did they bench him, they didn't dress him for that game. He didn't get a uniform that game.
Yeah.
That blew my mind. That blew my mind, man. I'm like, what? He don't even dress for that game. But go ahead. I just that's something I couldn't. I was like, I couldn't believe that when I heard that. I couldn't believe that.
It's like you want to, you know, proverbially, respectfully, you want to spank a guy, you know, teach him a lesson a little bit, you know, public humiliate him a little bit, humble him down a little bit, you know. May not be the approach I think is the best, but it is an approach, and if it's what they think is best, then okay. But the thing that's really bothering me around the discourse is like, man, it's starting to get a little too soft around certain things, man. And I say that in a sense of like, look, you drafted that guy number 2 overall.
Number 2. Yeah.
Over a couple of quarterbacks who, you know, who may have a lot more of a ceiling than the guy you picked. It feels like the internet discourse is just starting to weigh into decision making too much, man. And it's unfortunate because that's what I mean by it's getting a little soft, because it's like, hey, look, you pull that guy in, you let that guy know, hey, look, man, we need you to come off Howard's a little bit. We're going to sit you for this game. We want you to grab a clipboard, put the headset on. Let's regroup. Let's learn something. I want you to see what we see. You do all that in house. You know, it's like, it kind of feels like, you know, the personnel decisions being made because of Twitter opinions, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't let Twitter be your guide here. Yeah, you can't do that.
Right, man.
Twitter have you all over the place.
Yeah, man. Like, what are we doing, man? Because you want to sit the guy, you know, have him learn a valuable lesson, you know, see things from a coach's perspective. I think, to your point, not dressing him.
It's
more about, you know, humiliation.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I mean, this guy is who you invested a premium pick in, man. So
yeah,
it's one thing to want a guy to sort of humble down and see the lesson you're trying to teach him. It's another thing to humiliate the guy, potentially, you know, have his confidence stunned in a locker room you expect him to lead with. So it's kind of like
right.
With that, man, I don't really like that. So, you know.
All right. Now, here, my take on that is like I'm with you on that because I like I said, I was surprised that the dude didn't dress. Now, like I said, I was kind of for, because now I was kind of, because see, Robert Saleh basically said right after the game that ain't gonna be no deal. We going with what I got. We're going with Zach. But see, I think that the guys in the locker room thought different because after that same game, and the game I'm talking about is against the Patriots, where they netted 2 yards after halftime.
Mm.
2
Mm.
2 yards. Okay, I'm not 2. No, 2 yards. Okay, and I mean that's net. They had a lot of lost yardage plays and stuff like that, and sacks and tackles for losses and stuff like that. So Zach Wilson kind of had the idea like, no, it's fine, it's whatever, you think the defense is, kind of, I don't know defense, nothing. I mean, look, this is a young guy. He don't really know what, I get all that.
Clear, Fred. Let me be clear.
I get all that.
The stuff he said was ridiculous. That's not what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, I'll be trying to give young dudes is
also your point as well. Things he said you shouldn't say.
I know. I'm with you. Okay, I'm with that.
He also is a young guy, to your point, and it's
right.
There's a far better way to help him see that than what they're doing.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. I don't think not dressing him helps that.
Right.
I think not starting him helps that.
Right.
But the point I was trying to make is that Robert Saleh was going one way in the media.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know. You could say that maybe the fans, Twitter got in his ear. How could you start it? But that same game, Garrett Wilson said something different. He was like, "Dude, this SHI can't work like this. What we have? One first down in the second half." He said, "No, we put that out there. That's garbage. We can't put our defense out there. We can't do that." Totally different thing than what he said from what the quarterback said. And so I kind of got if you read between the lines, he was like, man, this guy he's not seeing it. That's the way I read that. He's not seeing it. And
I think players are always going to have a perspective that's probably differing from, people outside of the game. And I think that's always been the case. I just think now in today's era, it gets more credence than it should. Like, look, if offense doesn't perform, of course the receivers are upset about it. But the difference in 2022 and 1996 is probably like, well, now, that receiver can, say some things in the media and then go post a post on some social media site. And then, now we're talking about something and it's like I think good organizations learn how to be very hard on things like that and firm. We're not going to allow those internet crafted narratives to rule our decision making.
Right.
So if our receivers are upset with our guy, and we'll handle that. And
we'll handle it.
Yeah.
We will handle it.
Exactly.
Right.
It's like I think, to your point, you're making a great point. It goes from that's our guy, we're going to support him, things a coach should say, to we're going to bench him and not dress him. And it's just like,
that's exactly what I like, dude. And they got to look at it from you draft. That's a number 2 pick. That's a high value pick. You not getting that pick back, right?
No.
We joined at the hip. Wherever we going with you.
Right. And that's where, organizations got to step in and recognize it's important for your players to have that understanding both within themselves and in how they address the media.
Right.
It may be beneficial and cool and immature for the young receiver to say, let me go throw the quarterback under the bus. But it's bigger than that, man. It's bigger than that, because this is the guy that they've invested to get you the ball.
Right.
So, you may win on Twitter, but it's not helping the team.
Winning the battle, but you're gonna lose the war. That's what it's called. Yeah. Can't pick a fight with the dude that's throwing you the football, because that's not you can't work. Can't do that. You can't win that.
You can do the Mike White hype all you want. You know, I respected him, but
when he go back to the bench, you still got to look at Zach.
Yeah, and it's gonna happen.
That's going to happen. Yeah,
so,
that's going to happen.
That's all I'm saying, man. Sometimes
another game where the narrative is probably more than the game is.
Yeah.
You talk about 15 minutes about that one game. You know, it's good stuff though. It's because there's a lot of things around that, man. Good talking around that, you know.
Yeah.
Talking points, you know. Good life lessons in these games, in this stuff. Good life lessons, you know. That's what I look at.
We both got Minnesota, right?
Huh? Yeah, we both got Minnesota. Yeah, we both got Minnesota.
All right.
All right, now we got Washington Commanders at the New York Giants.
Man, this is
that's an interesting game there, man.
It's your division right there.
Ooh, because Washington's playing, man. They playing some good football, man.
Yes, they are.
Whatever folks think about them, whatever folks want to think about their organization, how it's ran, the guy at the head, whatever. You know, my man, God, what's his name? What's the coach? You know me and names be leaving my head.
Ron Rivera.
Ron Rivera is coaching his hind parts off, man.
Yeah.
You know, and which I knew he would. I knew he was a quality coach. I've been knowing that. You're not gonna do yourself no harm if Ron Rivera is your coach. You're gonna do fine. Your coach, the players are gonna play for him, and he's in the foxhole with his players. They play for him. So I kind of knew that. They benched your boy, and that's the thing where I think the Twitter hounds got, because your boy was about ready to get it. Well, I'm back from my finger. Yeah, okay. You know what, Carson? Just hang on a little bit. And they went with Taylor Heineke because he got a little something going, man. He's got a little something going, you know. True enough, Carson Wentz is probably more talented than him. You know, 6'5", 240, could probably throw it through a brick wall or whatever. But it's something with him that just ain't. What it said again, the curl just didn't. Something about him just don't. I don't know.
The best way when we have these conversations about any athlete or any sport, I think the best way to sum it up is Michael Beasley. That's a dude that's talented.
Number 2 pick back in like 2000 or something like that. Yeah. Not 2008. He came out with
D Rose.
D Rose, right?
He's the
talent in the world, right?
Everybody. Yeah. But he just don't put it together, man.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Guy could go on a pickup run and be the best player on the court, on a court full of NBA players.
Right.
But as far as what are you going to get from this guy for a whole season, he doesn't put it together, man.
He always leaves you wanting.
Yeah.
You
know, when I see guys like that, I think there's a lot of personnel that does have the right mentality. There's also a lot of personnel that falls into the Michael Beasley effect. Like, man, he's so talented. We could just have him. Yeah, but you know, there's a reason why. You know.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, certain organizations recognize we're not gonna dip our toe in that water, man. Carson Wentz looks the part, but he never does the part. So.
Yeah.
You know, other teams are gonna fall into it.
He's a conundrum. Man.
We've seen that.
He's a conundrum, man. I don't get it, man. I don't get it because you know.
No, he's talented. He's big. He's athletic, and that doesn't always mean you can win games consistently.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
You know, not to go harping on about the backup quarterback in this game. Washington is rolling. Love what they're doing. Got Chase Young back on the defensive side. Offensively, man, they got all those speed gadget guys that can just, you know, get out in space, or short burst guys. I like the offense, man. I like what they're doing. I'm picking them to win this game, actually.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
I like what they're doing.
No disrespect to the Giants, because I think the Giants they're playing kind of well too. I think Brian Daboll is Dang good coach. He got them boys. They not doing a lot of the little silly things that Joe Judge had them doing, and penalties, dumb penalties, stupid turnovers. Danny Don throwing it, don't know which direction he's supposed to throw the football in, all this kind of silly stuff. You don't see that now. It's just, he looks like a competent quarterback with this, he's like, look, man, let's not lose the game. We might not have enough talent to beat some team, but we're not beating ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's what he's gotten over to the Giants. That's why they're 7-4. You talking about 7 wins? That's like 2 seasons for them before. That's 2 seasons.
Yeah,
get 7 wins.
Yeah,
but I just think I think Washington's a little more talented than them. Like I said, you're getting Chase Young back. Scary Terry McLaurin. Brian Robinson, J.D. McKissick. They got players, man. Samuels. They got players, man. They run the football well. They don't beat themselves.
Look at this. You named a couple guys. You didn't name Jahan Dotson and De'Ami Brown.
Jahan Dotson, yeah, the dude from TCU, right?
Oh, he's from Penn State.
Penn State, okay.
Jahan Dotson, and De'Ami is from North Carolina. But again, they've got like 3 or 4 of those like gadget
guys. Yeah.
Quick, fast guys, good in space. I like what they're doing. The Giants have been playing hard all year. They're going to compete. It's going to be a good game. It's probably one of the more underrated games of the week.
Right, it is
pretty evenly matched in some ways, and they're going to play hard for their coaches.
Right.
It's a division game, so I'm leaning, Washington, but I do expect a good game. And the Giants may hold serve at home, but I'll go Washington. It's going to be a good one, though.
Right. I go Washington. Two very well coached football teams, and that's what you like to see. Good clean game, no lot of penalties, no lot of like stupid turnovers. Just good clean game. 2 good competitive teams. But yeah, I got Washington. I just think they got a better team. Right, as of this point. So
for sure.
All right, and now we got your team here. And hey, man. You got the Tennessee Titans at the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I know you want to landslide this to the Eagles. I say not so freaking fast, man. I think Tennessee, man, is just the kind of team to give Philadelphia some problems, man. Tennessee is probably the most physical team in the NFL, and they will hit you. You're not lining up and mush-mouthing them. You're not going to do that to them. You're just not. But now, their offense be leaving something to be desired, though. That's the thing, though. I think they're way too Derrick Henry centric. Traylon Burke had a nice catch last week. He had some nice things. He did some nice things last week, coming off his turf toe injury. He doing all right. He not Pickens. Don't get mad at me. He not Pickens. I get it. He not Pickens. He I think the Titans do just enough to win this one. I know you ain't seeing it that way, and you might be saying you just doing it because you want to go to the Cowboys. Quit looking on my paper, man. But no, man, I just think styles make fights, man. That's the point I'm trying to make. And I looked at how they just lined up and just mush-mouthed Green Bay last week. It makes me mad because that's what the Cowboys could have done the week before. But no, we got to throw it around the yard. And they could have just lined up and just ran it down their throat. But no, we don't want to do that. So Tennessee gave us the formula. No, dude, them dudes can't tackle. Them dudes don't want to tackle. And we're going to line up and just mush-mouth them. All right? So that's what Philadelphia, but you're not doing that to Tennessee. Okay? You're just not. So Jalen's going to be creative and do his thing, and I think Simmons and them other guys going to get after him. And I got Tennessee winning. It's going to be a slugfest, though. It's going to be a slobber knocker. It's going to be one of them where it's going to be a lot of good hits. It's going to be a lot of woo. Like it's going to be a lot of them in that game. It's real physical. It's going to be guys getting off the field because they got hit. Probably a personal foul or 2. Yeah, I got Tennessee winning that one. I know you don't, because I know you think Philadelphia is like, the second coming. And I got to go with your own team, man. I gotta have some faith in your team if you don't. So I got Tennessee.
All right, man. Pardon. First things first, man. That was a heck of a take. Give me 1 second, if you don't mind. 1 second, man.
All right.
All right, man. So here's the thing. That was a heck of a take from you. Apologize to your platform, man.
Come on, man. Spit it out, man. Spit it out.
Titans, man. Look. You called me on it. You knew I wasn't gonna pick them to win this game.
I know you, man. I know you.
I can't do it, man, and it's for several reasons. That's a motivated team on the other side. If there's any game AJ Brown's gonna get up for more than another, it's this one.
Probably.
And I think Philadelphia has the recipe to eke out a win. It's like what teams can squeak out a win against the way the Titans play. The Titans do play a physical brand of football. They play a muck it up style. They don't mind getting nasty and gritty to get a win.
Right.
And so it takes a certain type of team to overcome that. Patrick Mahomes can overcome that. Joe Burrow can overcome that. Two young quarterbacks that have been to Super Bowls, and in Patrick's case, won Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts has an opportunity tomorrow, to me, to sort of establish. This is a game for him that I think can really establish to that team, we can win any style of game. Because to your point, that front seven for Tennessee is their foundation for the whole team. It's their core.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Henry on one side and the front seven on the other.
Mm-hmm.
That's the linchpin to the Tennessee Titans. And so, to your point, just trying to run it up and down the throat of the Titans defense, that's not a recipe for success.
Nope.
But what is? Going over the top, they can be had. See, number 11 would love to go over the top against that secondary. I think it's a close game. It's going to be a good game. But Tennessee's offense, concerns me. It has all season.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah.
Erlen Burks has put together, back-to-back games that demonstrate his talent, and it's good to see from him. He's definitely starting to turn a corner, hopefully. But even outside of him, they just don't move the ball well enough. They don't get enough guys involved in the passing game, and it tends to lead to 12, 13 carries out of Derek 30 that are just useless. Like he has way too many useless carries where it's just an obvious rundown, and they're predictable in that way. They don't do a lot of setting up the play action as much as they should because, the guys on the outside just aren't able to take advantage of those matchups. And it leaves a lot to be desired. So while I have confidence that they'll play hard and the defense will put them in position, I've seen several times this season the defense put them in position and they just can't. They can't, finish the alley-oop. So it's a game because they lost last week. I would love for them to win this game, even despite having a good cushion in their own division. It's a game you want to win this week. I just Derrick Henry, 35 carries, man. It's just kind of like, so I think it's a formula to beat some teams. It is, but some teams, I don't think it is. I think this is one of those weeks where that formula just isn't a formula to win against a team like the Eagles. So not long drawn out rationale, but I just can't. I can't go with the Titans this week. Um, they got a lot of winnable games down the stretch after this week, but this week, man, is you playing one of the elite teams in the NFL, man. So not just like with the Chiefs, not being able to make plays when you need them, not being able to be diverse in the run pass balance, setting up play action. The Eagles will make you pay for it. They're a team that can create turnovers. They have a really talented secondary. Um, they may have Jordan Davis back in the middle for this game, and that's a defense. I think again they're gonna stack the box because they trust Darius Slay and James Bradbury on the outside.
For the back end, yeah.
It's like, we'll stack the box. It's gonna be a lot of Derrick Henry, no gain, Derrick Henry 2 yards, and it's like you get him up to 30 plus carries, and he's not breaking anything, and it's just kind of like games like these, you can use AJ Brown. Imagine that.
You had that guy. You had him in, you had that guy. All right. Yeah. All right. My last point on this is that I just think that Tennessee is probably one of the more well-coached teams in the NFL. And like I said, I think they just, like I said, they're going to make Jalen Hurts make throws. That's what they're going to do. A lot of that little mesh stuff. No, we're not letting you have it. You're going to have to make throws today. Now, if he make them, they win in this game going away. If he don't, like I said, the only caveat is that I just don't know if Tennessee can score enough points, though. That's the thing. The offense is so predictable because it's going to be like the Eddie George game, 32 carries, 88 yards.
Oh, man. The golden
There's going to be a lot of that, man. We used to talk about that. There's a lot of 1 and 2 yard carries and a break. Oh, he broke one for 5 yards. 1, 2, 6. And then 1, 2, 4.
Yeah.
32 carries, 88 yards.
That's my thing, man. It's like Derrick can always break one. We know that.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the offense built around the idea of like, man, if we run him 30 times, he'll break 2 or 3 and we'll win the game. It's like, I guess that's a strategy, but do you beat teams like that? I don't think so.
Yeah.
And to me, the proof is in the pudding as of late because you play good teams like the Chiefs, like the Bengals. These are good teams, and you don't win with that approach. So you're lining up against a good team again tomorrow.
That's a good point. That's actually a very good point.
Yeah,
very good point. Not good enough for me to change my pick though, but that's a good point. That's a very good point. That's a very good point.
You play,
that's tough teams. I see. I got what you're saying. I got it. The elite ones, you got to do a little more than that.
So I'm concerned about doing a little more than that on this one. So
right,
I got to go the other way.
Going Eagles. He going Eagles.
I expect DJ Brown to touch pay dirt once or twice, and let the Titans hear about it.
Let them hear about it. Y'all didn't keep me. Y'all didn't want me. Yeah. So. All right, man. We're going opposite ways on that. We'll see how that goes. Now we're gonna move to our 3:00 games. First 3 o'clock game. Well, we've been talking a minute here. We got Seattle at the Los Angeles Rams. Look, man, I pretty much think the Rams have packed it in and put a padlock on the door, man. I think, I think Matthew Stafford might not play. We know Cooper Kupp's not playing. Then they traded Darrell Henderson.
They cut him.
Cut him. What I say? Traded? Yeah, cut. Yeah, cut. Because they was talking about the Cowboys possibly getting him the backup, Zeke or Pollard or whatever, and he used to play with Pollard in Memphis. They used to be teammates. So I think, they kind of like, this ain't our year, man. Let's just get these 17 over with. And
well, it's just not their year. So definitely not. They don't have to think it.
No, that's not a sale. That's not a sale. So for that being said, I think Seattle had a couple of losses. I think they lost last week to what was it?
They lost to Vegas.
Vegas, that's right. Yeah, lost Vegas in overtime.
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs ran and looked back at him as he's running down. Yeah.
86-yard walk-off.
Yeah. I look for Seattle to get back on this one, man. I got Seattle, man. I just think, they're a more complete team. They still got something to play for. I still think they got odds on thinking they can win that division. I still think it's probably San Francisco's division to win, but I think Seattle thinks they can still win that. So they're gonna play a little hard. So I got for Pete Carroll, I think they win this. And I think the Rams just impacted in.
Seattle, man, all day. They playing for something. The Rams are not.
No.
Rams have, all of their pretty much all their signature players out for this one.
Yeah.
Seattle, man, all day.
All right. Now we got a couple of good games. So now we got Miami at San Francisco.
Game of the week.
Yes, sir. They was talking on NFL Network. They said, "Oh man, this is an offense like that 49ers have never seen." I'm like, "What do you mean? That dude used to coach for them. What are you talking about? He was their offensive coordinator." Now, if you might say they ain't seen a receiver like Tyreek Hill, yeah, I get with that because most dudes can't beat your cornerbacks running backwards, but he can.
Yeah, this is a game right here, man.
You ain't lying.
This is a game. I'm torn on it because I really am. I love both teams. Got a lot of confidence in both teams. Both teams are playing for their division and playing for conference supremacy. Both teams are well-rounded on both sides of the ball. It's like a classic toss-up, man, for me at least. It's easy to go San Francisco because they're at home, right?
Yeah, they playing at whatever that stadium's called, A3Com, whatever, Candlestick, whatever it used to be called. They playing in San Francisco.
Easy to go San Fran because they're at home, man. But it's like that Miami offense can get explosive. So.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to do it, man. I'm gonna have to go. Miami with the upset.
Whoa. He jumped out on the limb, boy. You way out there on the limb on that one right there, man. Look, man, I love what Miami's doing. I love the speed options that they run, and because you have to play so deep off of that, man. All that underneath stuff is just all open all day. It's just like it's like they left the bank unlocked, and you can just go and get all the money you want. That's what it is, because you can't play them. You better not try to play press man with them two corners, with them two receivers, all up on top of them. Yeah, but yeah, okay. Ask Baltimore how that worked. playing that, man. I'm like, dude, how you playing all up on it? You do know that's Tyreek Hill, right? He could beat you running backwards. What are you doing? You know, and Jalen Waddle ain't that much slower than him.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah.
So and Tua just in sync. He just in sync with them, man. You know, and then if you think you can cover them, Mike Gesicki coming down the seams, he's nice, and you know Chase Edmonds in the backfield. They got weapons. Mostert, I mean, they got weapons, man.
Yeah.
And Tua is like he finally got an offense that and a coach that believes in him and trusts him, and you know it's amazing when you got somebody that's behind you and you know and they give him weapons to work with. The whole countenance, this whole persona, the whole narrative around him is totally different. He a third MVP candidate now. Dang, I thought he couldn't play.
Yeah.
You know, that was the narrative, right?
Yeah.
All the stuff that he did in Alabama was for Fugazi because he had a track team on all the sides of him. That's why he was able to do that. He had a track team around him. So he had a track team now. He doing the same things. Look, man, I guess I'm gonna be just to be the contrarian. I guess I'm gonna go with the home team. I'm gonna go San Fran.
Still
I think,
still a good pick, man. It's a good game. Way.
You know, I just think that man, Shanahan has got so many gadgets he can play with, man. It's just hard to go. It's just gonna be hard to play them. He's got too many gadgets to play with, you know. You know, you got C-Mac, and that man, he just drawing up plays in the dirt. You know what? I can put C-Mac in this. You know, one game he ran one, caught one, and threw one. I'm like, what the heck you doing, Kyle? This drawing up stuff, you know. And you know, I'm waiting for Debo to throw a touchdown pass. That's gonna happen. You know that, right?
I'm gonna put it past.
Yeah. So and then don't forget about George Kittle and IU. Don't forget about them dudes. And I think their defense is nasty. I love San Francisco defense. They gets after you. You know, that's the thing. I think they're just not going to give Tua a lot of time. That's the thing I think is going to hurt. Is I don't think Tua's going to have the time to do what he needs to do to get them late, slow developing routes open. If you're trying to get deep, I think they're going to be on top of him before he's able to get those throws off or whatever. We'll see. Now, the thing that scares me is they got Jimmy G playing quarterback. I like Jimmy G, but sometimes Jimmy G,
I wonder how it must feel for him because everybody gives this same analogy of him.
Yeah.
I like him, but
I like him, but every now and then, dude, I remember the Kansas City game. I remember what's the game he threw? He had threw an interception while he's in the end zone, like a 2-yard interception return. He did that twice this year. He's done that like twice on prime time. He's done that. Yeah. I mean, I ain't making this stuff up. He's done that. So, you know, and then he'll have a game where he throw for 302 touchdowns. So that's my only gives me pause. But I just think they just have so much talent. They're playing at home. I'm going San Fran. But if they can give Tua times, Armstead, I think he's playing. Terran Armstead, the tackle, if he's playing, they'll give him, you know, and that's very key if he's playing. I think if he has enough time, Tua's gonna burn them because I just don't know if they can hold up with them two dudes, you know, they're running their routes or whatever. So, but the only pause is Jimmy G. Jimmy G has a decent game. I think San Francisco wins. If he throws 2 or 3 picks, all bets is off. But I got San Fran.
San Fran is tough, man. I love him.
Yeah.
It's a great pick.
I got San Fran. Okay. All right. So now we got I think it's the LA Chargers at the No. We got Kansas City at Cincinnati. Don't let me bypass that. Another great game. A replay of the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
And playing at Cincinnati. All right. Good game, man. A lot of Jamar Chase is back. He tried it last week. He felt a little funny. He said, I'm gonna give it another week. He back. He baked. Okay.
Maker is back.
So that's gonna make this game spicy, man. There's a 5-piece Popeyes. It's spicy right here, man.
Well, Justin Reed decided to add some zest to it. So, okay.
What did he say? I must have missed that. What did he say?
Yeah, he had a mouthful to say, apparently. Yeah, he had a lot to say, man. I don't want to misquote him, but, he ultimately alluded to shutting down T. Higgins. And I think he was even propositioned by Jamar, put some money on the line for the game. So, yeah, adding headlines to primetime game, why not? Justin Reed.
Yeah. I don't know about that right there, man. I don't know. That's not
setting yourself up right there, man.
Yeah, that's not good to do that right there.
Hope it go well for you.
Yeah.
These guys care about the internet narrative. So
apparently,
I hope it go well for you, because if not,
yeah, you got to eat that, boy. You got to eat that.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to eat that. That kind of makes it a little different right there, because Cincinnati's not to be played with. Okay, let's get that out there. They're not to be toyed with.
They have a new talent on the offense.
That Cincinnati is not to be played with. Okay. You go in there thinking like, oh man, you see who they've lost to Cowboys, they've lost to the Steelers, they've lost some games that they probably had no business losing, and stuff like that. And you go in there thinking like, oh man, they were fraudulent. They went in and dude, that's a good team. They're playing some good football right now, and they're playing at home. I don't bet against Pat too much, so. And I don't know, man. I like what Kansas City is doing, though. I like what they're doing. This is gonna be a good one, man. This is one of them, just like the last game. Gonna be a tough pick. It's a tough pick. It's a tough pick. Generally, I go with the home team when it's stuff like that, But Kansas City is just good right now, man. They're playing like championship level football right now. Man, what dude had to have to run his mouth, man? What are you doing, man? What are you doing? I hadn't even heard about that. What are you doing, dude? I'm gonna go Kansas City, but man, you don't go poking bears, man. You just don't do that, man. You respect your opponent. I'm gonna go Kansas City, but man, that's gonna be a barn burner. It's gonna be like 35-33, man. It's gonna be one of them kind of games. I got Kansas City, man, but
yeah,
man, Cincinnati coming to play this game. But trust me, they're coming to play.
They are. I expect a lot of scoring as well. I actually would generally want to swing Cincy's way there at home, but Patrick Mahomes is generational, and he's due for a win against Cincy, man. Since he swept them last year, this is his opportunity, not only for some get back, but to set a tone just in case you see them again in the playoffs.
Right.
And I think he's going to go in there and do that. Now they're going to fight back, so it's going to, that's why we both anticipate a lot of scoring.
Right.
They're going to throw heavy punches in the score. Hey, yeah, big plays.
Yeah,
a lot of big plays in this game. But give me Pat. Pat is on a roll. Pat's the best in the business.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not even up for debate right now to me. That's not even up for debate.
Yeah. So
yeah, if you think it's something else, you got some other agenda or something somewhere, man. Man, he tried to do too much. Like, yeah, shut up.
Yeah, it's one of those shut up things.
Shut up.
Yeah, he's the best in the business, man. So I got him. I got the Chiefs. It'll be a good game. Be a real good game. But yeah, give me the Chiefs, man.
Chiefs. All right. We both got the Chiefs on there, and probably one of the better games of the afternoon or whatever. So now I got to wait for the crawl to get around because I can't. Okay, here we go. So we got the Las Vegas, the Los Angeles Chargers at the Las Vegas Raiders. That's going to be an interesting game too, a divisional game. Raiders seem like they starting to get their stuff righted, maybe a little bit. Had a little heart to heart a couple weeks when they lost to, I think it was to the Colts. You know, man, you know it's serious when the dude's crying at the podium. That thing done got serious. When they doing that, and so I don't know, man. The Chargers always, when I be wanting to start to feel them, they let me down, man. Every time I be wanting to give them, they do, man. It's like, oh, man, Herbert and Chargers, they coming around the corner, like, and then they'll lose one they have no business losing. Like, what just happened here?
Yeah.
You know? And so I'm gonna take the Raiders in this one, man. Even though it's probably not a smart pick because the Chargers on paper seem like they got more talent, you know, the better quarterback. They have the better set of receivers. Although Devontae Adams is the best receiver playing, but you know, you go Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. You know, I don't
think they got Mike.
I
don't think they got Mike for this one.
Is Mike? Yeah, I gotta look at my injury report. You know, since having the thing printed, if you ain't gonna look at it. But they got they got Austin Eckler coming out of the backfield. You know, they got the talent now. What's the tight end's name? I can't think, but he's not Darren Waller, but he's very good. He's very good. Number 7. He's very good.
Darren Waller right now.
Yeah, he's not Darren Waller, but he's good. He's good. He's very good. But I got the Raiders, man. I just think, I think Carr's going to do his thing. Adams, Renfro, Waller, Josh Jacobs. Chargers still ain't figured out how to stop the run yet. And Josh Jacobs is starting to find
the wrong guy. Yeah. That's the wrong guy to be matched up with if you ain't figured that out.
Yeah. So I got the Raiders, but probably not a smart pick, but I got the Raiders, and we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right. We know my rule about the Raiders. Anything can happen.
They're wacky, man. Game be wacky.
Gonna be a wacky, eventful game when the
Raiders
are involved. A couple things. Darren Waller's been injured most of the year. He's been pretty much a non-factor, man. It's unfortunate because he's such a target. Josh Jacobs' game happened last week, but he didn't come out of it unscathed. He was pretty injured and banged up. I think they said he missed most of practice all week, but he still might play. If he does suit up and he is ready for a heavy load,
he's questionable. You're right.
This is the team. This is the team to match up against, or one of them. So he could have another vintage performance going up against that run defense.
Another tough one, man.
Yeah, well, on his face, the Chargers need it more than the Raiders because they're playing for more. Then again, the Raiders are finding their stride. I actually kind of not disagree, but I kind of feel like the talent disparity isn't as vast as it may appear. I think, especially offensively, they pretty much match up pretty well. Um, Defensively, is a lot to be left, a lot to be desired on the Raiders end. But can Herbert take advantage of it? And that's the question.
Right.
I think Josh Jacobs, if healthy and ready to go tomorrow, he's the most explosive guy on the field on both sides of the ball. And that's including Eckler and Devontae Adams. I think right. Josh Jacobs is having quite a year. And last week's game just kind of highlighted what's been a consistent overall productive year for him individually. Maybe not team success, but he's been having a great year. And they've been able to string together a couple wins as of late. So they're at home. I know you're going with them. I'm not picking the Raiders, man. I can't do it. I can't do it, man. This is one of those wacky games where the Chargers know how to lose a game. The Raiders know how to lose a game. That Josh Jacobs not practicing all week, Darren Waller being hurt most of the season, kind of concerns me. I expect a lot of force feeding to Tay Adams. I'm gonna go the other way, man. I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
I'm not mad at that pick. Not mad at that pick at all. Not mad at that pick at all because it's like and that tight end, his name is Gerald Everett. That's his name, Gerald Everett. I couldn't think of his name, Gerald Everett. Yeah, he got him from. He's played for the Rams, number 7.
Yeah.
They also got a dude, Joshua Palmer. He's playing for them. He's did a lot of stuff when they haven't had Keenan Allen most of this season. That's who's kind of stood in for them. Josh Palmer. He's pretty. They got another dude named Carter who's pretty good. He's been playing well for them too. So they got an arsenal. They got. I mean, it's just a matter of the offensive line not being there. Ryan Lindley's out, and then Rashawn Slater's out. That kind of stuff. Those are the things that have hurt them. And like you said, the Raiders got some issues too with Josh Jacobs is not playing Waller. So they sort of kind of got that's why this game is tough to pick. So you got the Chargers, I got the Raiders. But I think it's good. I think it can go either way. It should be a good game though. Should be a good game. And so it's going to be some unexpected, wacky things happen in those games because it always is when the Raiders are concerned. So that's why used to be your team, one of your teams.
Oh yeah, right. I love a good Raiders game, man.
Right. All right, that's all of the 3:00 games. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
That's all the 3:00 games. The 7:00, the night game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Hey, let me get in costume here.
There you go. There it is.
Yeah, let me get in costume. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Boom. So we got the Indianapolis Colts coming to play the Dallas Cowboys at AT&T Stadium. All right, Sunday night, 7:20, NBC.
Appointment television. Yep.
Yeah. We love prime time. So that's the thing. That's the thing. Ain't nobody watching. Ain't nobody on but us. We love that. Colts getting back-to-back prime time games for some reason or another because they was on Monday night too. So,
you ain't flexing the Cowboys. So, you ain't flexing the Cowboys.
Oh well, no, not this year. Got flexed back in 2020 though because they were not good that year. But Jerry's like, I ain't let that happen no more. That ain't happening. Can't let that happen no more. So no, that's money flying right out of my pocket. He not about that. So look, man, the Colts, man, has had a trying season. Matt Ryan, bless his heart, doing all he can do. 2,600 yards, 11 touchdowns, 11 interceptions though. Yuck. Jonathan Taylor's been in and out of the lineup, been hurt. He got like about 730 yards. I already did the research on that game. You already know that. That's why I know them numbers off the top of my head. 739 and 4 touchdowns. Okay. Michael Pittman, 74 catches, 739 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Not a lot of short yardage thing. They got a kid named Pierce. A nice what you call possession receiver, but I just seen him get behind some guys too. But playing Jacksonville, he got behind them guys late in the game, and I couldn't understand how he did that, but he did it. He got behind them dudes.
Got speed.
And I like the tight end they got, the one they picked up in the draft, Jelani Woods, because I wanted the Cowboys to get him. And they, he was gone before they picked him in the second round and whatever. So they got some talent, nice, decent offensive line, Quentin Nelson, Ryan Kelly, decent defense, Christian, what's his name? Akereke, I think that's his name, 53. Stephon Gilmore. They got players now. Having said all that, they're coming to the AT&T Stadium. Dak has been preaching respect all week. He's like, no, we're going to respect our opponents. I didn't think they respected the Giants that much. That's why they had 13 penalties. They thought they could just line up all sides and be all right. Dude, get your head out your behind. All right? And I think they take care of business against the Colts. And I think they win 31-10. I had already made a prediction on one of my other videos, 31-10. So I got the Cowboys winning that one. Matt Ryan is a statue in his back in the backfield. I look for them to have about 4 sacks. At the very least.
Him or Michael.
I look for them to run the ball though. I look for them to run the ball with Jonathan Taylor. That's what they better run the ball with Jonathan Taylor.
Well, look, man.
They better run it. That's what I'm saying. You throw the ball 25, 35 times with Matt Ryan, they're gonna be carrying him off on the stretcher.
That's the thing, man. Well, this your field. Wait till you're done. You done?
Oh, I'm done.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. No, man. True to your points, all your points. That's your team, man. Your expertise.
I don't know about all expertise. I don't know about all that, but yeah.
Everything you pointed to. The thing is, man, if you're Dallas, I'll be trying to get up 2 tugs early and force Indianapolis to abandon the run. And because once that happens, Matt Ryan probably gonna throw some picks. So that gives Trayvon a chance to bring a couple out sky. And it gives a chance for Michael Parsons to come out that edge. And good things happen for the Cowboys when the other team is forced to pass the ball.
Right.
Sacks and picks. So
right.
Yeah, if I were them, now granted, Indianapolis does have a very competitive, very talented defense. So they probably play harder than, the expectation for what their talent level is.
Right.
Sort of exceed what you could be expecting them. So, the challenge would be for the Cowboys to just make a couple key plays early in this game, take control. And at that point, you're asking Jeff Saturday to be a real head coach. You're asking Matt Ryan to be vintage prime Matt Ryan. And you're asking that offense to do something they don't want to do. They want to give Jonathan Taylor the ball. So if you can take the decision out of their hands, then this thing will be going Dallas' way in a big way. I love the match for Dallas. they match up really well on both sides of the ball. And it's kind of I got my divisional lenses on as well. So you guys taking care of them will kind of be like that final nail for
Right.
Indianapolis as far as trying to win the AFC South is concerned. So
Right.
yeah, man, rooting for Dallas all day tomorrow night. Yeah, go out there and put on a show, man, and get ready to meet with Odell the next day, I guess.
Yeah, that's kind of how that's gonna happen. That's exactly what's gonna happen. So, be all right, man. Be all right. So we both got Dallas, and probably not gonna. I hope it don't be close. Hope they can get up on them, and then they can kind of unleash and let their hair back and come after them. That's what I want.
Yeah.
All right, Monday night, not that great a game to me. It probably was a good game earlier in the season, but his teams are kind of falling on hard times a little bit. You got New Orleans at Tampa Bay. I don't know, man. Did New Orleans win last week? I lost track. Did they win?
I want to say no.
Did they even play?
They played somebody last week.
I can't remember. I know they haven't been playing well of late. But Tampa hadn't been playing that well, and they lost to Cleveland last week. So it's two teams really. I don't know. I guess I go with the home team. I go with Tampa. I guess you don't root against or pick against Tom Brady or whatnot. Playing a home game, I know they still got playoff implications because somebody got to win that bad division. Somebody got to win it. I think New Orleans is like 4-7. I don't think they, even.
Well, the thing about it, man, is although they're 4-7, they're still right there for the division, especially if they win this game.
Ain't that crazy?
That's the thing about a bad division, man. So while it may appear as a stinker, actually, it's going to be a really competitive rivalry game with division implications attached to it, despite the poor records.
Yep.
Both teams going to come to play, man. Rivalry. If New Orleans can pull off.
Saints got shut out last week, 13-0 by the 49ers. That's what happened.
Yeah, I watched that game. I'm tripping. I watched the game.
Yeah, they got shut out.
Yeah. So yeah, man. I think it's going to be a highly competitive game in that sense, just because New Orleans, despite being 4-7, is still very much in the race for that division. So they're still playing for something. I mean, that offense is destitute. They can't find ways to. I think they're creative enough. I just don't think it connects as much as it should, and maybe that's because they should just let Jameis play quarterback.
What the heck is going on with that, man?
Yeah, I don't know. It's strange. I don't see how he hasn't been given a shot.
Did Jameis get caught with a coach's wife or something? What the heck's going on here?
I don't know, man. That's strange to me, considering how things have played out. Is just to not give him another shot. Is just I don't get it. So I don't know.
I have no idea why Andy Dalton is still starting. I have no idea what's going on there.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
So, Jameis is healthy. I know he was injured early. He's healthy, but you still going with Andy Dalton. I mean, he must have cussed. What is the guy? What is the coach?
Dennis Allen.
Dennis Allen, yeah. He must have cussed Dennis Allen out or something. he got too handsy with his wife or something. They, at the Christmas party or something, or the Thanksgiving party or something, or whatever. Something going on. He got pictures of him and something, or something's going on there. Yeah, I don't understand that, man.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. But as far as the Saints go, man, that's actually a team that could really use Odell Beckham right now, and they don't have a quarterback to appeal him to the season.
No, it'd be good for him to go home. That would be cool for him to go home.
Well, Michael Thomas is out, so you need him. Yeah. You actually need him, but he ain't going there. If Tom can't win this game, that's a stout defense over there. Granted, I get it. But if Tom can't win this game at home, a game that you really need, because it's a divisional game, it's a tight race. None of you are playing great. I mean, this is kind of one of them games for Tom, man. You need to get this done, man. So I'm going with Tom, going with Tampa. But I think if they do lose, yikes.
Yeah, they lose. They're 5-7. They're both 5-7 if they lose. So they're right there in the division lead. I think the Falcons are right behind them. Should they win against the Steelers tomorrow, they'd be 5-7.
Yeah. Man, it's a tight race for mediocrity.
Right. First one to mediocrity wins. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, we both got that. That's not gonna be. I don't even know if I'm gonna even watch that game. I usually watch all the game. I don't know. I'll be working that night too. So I'll probably watch an NBA game or something that night. I'll just peep and see what the score is or something. Won't even look over there. You know what I'm saying? Okay. They hung on and won. Okay, fine. Let me go back to my game. So whatever, man. What it is. All right, we got one more game, man, and we're gonna shut this thing down. And that's gonna be the next Thursday game, Thursday, December the 8th. We're gonna look at the Las Vegas Raiders at the LA Rams. So basically, the Raiders are playing both LA teams in back-to-back weeks.
That looked like such a game on paper before the season. I know they.
Oh yeah, you knew that.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was a great game on paper. That was a good game on paper. But right now, Rams, like I said, Rams and cut the lights out and put this close sign on the door. They didn't shut down. No, we serve no more. We serving no more. We close for the night.
I actually think prime time Thursday night. I think Stafford, Aaron Donald. I think them guys will play this game. I think they're gonna play that game. So outside of Cooper Kupp, I think.
Cooper Kupp playing? I think it's smart. They would shut him down for the season. There's no reason to play him.
No, he's done. He's not coming back. But as far as the rest of the guys, I actually think they'll probably have most of their guys for this game on both teams.
Yeah.
It's still just not. It's not the game that they thought they were getting when they scheduled it. So,
you got that right. You got that right. And
I'll go Raiders. The Rams have nothing to play for, man. So,
yeah, they're not doing anything, man. They're not doing nothing.
So they have their guys. They're still a talented team. I mean, I think they'll be competitive. But assuming the Raiders could pull it off tomorrow, now you're 5-7. You're starting the game momentum. You got something to play for, juiced up going into that game. I think, I'm going with the Raiders, just assuming they were able to pull it off tomorrow. Short 3-4 day turnaround.
Yeah.
They're going to smell blood in the water on the other side. A team that has nothing to play for.
Right.
That's the team you got to beat, especially if you can beat the Chargers tomorrow. A team like the Rams on a short week, that's the perfect kind of team you want to be lined up against. A team that's ready to go home, man. Rams ready to go home, man. send them on. I'm going Raiders, man.
I'm going Raiders as well. Rams have nothing to play for, so it's like, it's just pride at this point,
Yeah.
Man, I think the Raiders really feel like their season sort of slowly but surely starting to come together, and I feel like they're going to win both of those games. That game Sunday against the Chargers, and then the game Thursday against the Rams. I think I can see them winning both of those games. So.
Okay.
Anyway, those are the games, man. We kind of drug this thing out because there's a lot of content in these games, and a lot of stuff, worthy to be talked about. We've been away for a couple of weeks, so we kind of, I guess, we just need to talk, man. We've been away for like 2-3 weeks, man.
Yeah.
After the holidays and everything. So, but that's all. That's all there is today for our Week 13 picks. Any parting words, TK? Any parting words? Anything you want to say to the folks?
More than enough, man. Appreciate your viewership. Appreciate everybody.
I'm a little parched right now. I lose my voice, man. I talk too much.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody. Enjoy your football week to everybody.
Yeah. All right. Same thing, same here, man. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. It's back to the grinding time now. The round and third going home for the football season. These are the days. These are the days where the teams start to put themselves in position to do things postseason. So these games starting to matter a whole lot. So these games are gonna get very interesting as this thing rolls along. So. But that's all I got from the desk of Uncle Fred. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Become a part of the Uncle Fred Sports Experience. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. Signing off for my main man, TK. I am your boy, Uncle Fred. Peace out. We'll catch you guys next week.